that I've just recently found out is that we are also billing for a sewer for the town of Accomack, and we don't serve them water. I think we do their sewer billing, and HRSD is in the process of putting in meters there. And once that's done, they will take over the billing, which means that we won't get that money in, and that probably amounts to about 312,000 a year. So yeah, they have as I understand it, their biggest customer is the jail. Uh, we increased the contribution to Main Street to $20,000. Um, some of the numbers have been changed to be more accurate based on the actual cost that we went back and checked and went over. You have a proposed capital improvement budget. It does not include the Northeast Park improvements requested for future years. That is the 9,750. And one of the things that we've seen is that if we need to replace a police officer, we drop from 5 to 4. If we replace it, police officer, we'll need to put in money for the training, which is about, I think we said $20,000 total.
Yeah, yeah.
And just want to add that we will have to do 2 advertisements this year. One is the impact of the reassessment by Accomack County. That advertisement has to show the difference between the real estate rate now and what the impact is of the reassessment, and also advertise your budget, the town budget. The hearings can take place at the same meeting, but they cannot be combined. They have to be 2 separate public hearings. For that, I'll try to answer any questions you may have.
All right, I think,
I-
let's go back to,
I just have one question based on what he just said. What would the tax rate come down to keep it almost equal? Are we about there?
You had 18,
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I think it's 18.42.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
let's go through, we can go through, but let's do it real quick in terms of like the, go to town council, and we'll do the town council thing. Is there any changes on that page from the one we saw last week, or anybody have any, I think that,
To office supplies because
Yeah.
of planning commission.
okay, and is everybody happy with that?
I would-
Okay, that was pretty quick, good. So now we're on, so administration, was that administration? No, it was town, administration, I think we had some questions there. So there, I guess what was the big issue there was the, 30,000 for the, yeah.
No, you're in revenue right now, right?
Oh, yeah, well, revenue, yeah,
Yes.
okay, I'm assuming that, okay, any questions about revenue for administration?
There is a change.
Okay,
Well, we adjusted the tax rate as discussed, dropping it to 18 cents and keeping it relatively close. But I did also include the rental of property for the HOS lease.
I
Oh,
did see
right,
that. Thank you.
Yeah. That is assuming that that lease will be in place by July 1, which, and I think I averaged 1,100, or I mean 1,200 or 1,300, I can't remember. You have to figure it out, divided by 12. But I'm not sure if that will be in place by July 1. But I did budget for the whole year.
Well, at the very least, it should be it should start at some point this year, so.
yeah, actually, I just got a draft lease from Eric that I will share, yeah, so, we're moving on that,
Mhm.
yeah.
So I'm looking at what we had last time versus what we have today. I'm seeing that last time the projected real estate revenue was going to be 544, and this time it looks like 445.
Right.
So
That's a drop in the rate from 22 to 18.
Okay.
Plus, I think Debbie put part of that percentage into delinquents.
The
It was
delinquent,
adding together the
Okay.
current
Yeah.
and delinquent
yeah, that's what I
on the-
figured.
on today's report.
All
Yeah.
right, yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was good. My number didn't add up there. So you still got 409, 849.
So 409 and 35.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's,
Um, s- So looking at these together, so there's about a $32,000 drop in revenue and an $18,000 drop in expense for a net increase of 50,000 in really round numbers for administration.
is everybody happy with the,
Well, I had a
income, and we're still in,
couple comments. I still think the communications tax is being booked too high. Unless you guys are seeing some trends coming in that are higher than what we currently are collecting this year. Tot, I think could probably go up a little bit if we need that, or I think it could go up to 18 and we probably hit the mark thereabouts. And I still think we need a budget for meals and tot penalty. We have a 3-year average of $1,700 in collections, and we also know we're gonna be going after one of our businesses who is in arrears for several years.
uh,
You want me to ask my question in
Well,
election or?
well,
But those are
let's,
just my thoughts, and obviously staff.
let's resolve what Chief first says.
So we'll look into
Okay.
that. And I'm a little more pessimistic about what we'll be able to get.
I understand, and we don't know with the current
Yeah.
state of things, how much people would be traveling. I understand that.
Well, isn't communication tax, is that a fixed thing?
It's a variable, it's a
Variable.
percentage on your utility bills,
Okay.
your phone bills.
Right, okay. All right, any questions about income?
Yes, and I'm not sure this is the right place, but speaking to the reserves and the deficit projected there, I'm wondering if we should increase it to 19 cents a hundred to try to start building up the reserves. And maybe this is the wrong place to talk about it. We can talk about it at the end if you want to.
Well, I think it's good to bring it up and keep in mind. I agree with you on that, but it's up to council. Yeah, I think we should have a little bit of a increase. All right, but we can talk about, yeah. All right, any other?
Yeah,
que-
what you have is, what were your directions to us at the last meeting?
All right, any other questions about income there? Okay, expenditures. Ann, you can go. Give it.
Yeah. But they have,
No, no,
Lisa?
Postage is the same as it was last week, and I thought we were gonna move some of it to water and sewer. Or do you think that the taxes alone are gonna cost over $8,000 to bill and stuff?
we think that number's good.
Okay, then that's fair.
Do you think there is water?
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
like $3,000 budgeted in water, or well, let's see, postage, let's see. Yeah, 3,000.
Yeah.
So, and I've got notes on that when we get down to that section too. The other thing is travel. I feel like we need to, even if it's just $500 we budget something, because we've got a new person potentially coming on staff that may want to do some trainings and stuff. And we want to have a little room there for, or maybe this person sends staff on trainings. I don't know, but they're gonna need to travel.
Well, the first year, lots of times there's not travel, there's learning about where you are. Now, the dues, memberships and subscriptions is where they join.
Right.
Bill, wouldn't you think they would want to go to the VML conference?
Especially the one in October.
No? Just to
Most of the
meet
time, and I may be entirely wrong, most of the time, for the first year, you hang in, learning about where you are.
Well, we have something for professional development. I guess
Yeah.
we-
But
But that's
seems
not
as
true.
though the VML conference is a really good way to learn about the state where you are.
Mm.
to make those contacts that you need to be able to ask questions.
Okay.
It's not, yeah, it's not that, it's $300, I think, to, okay, much about travel, we can put some travel in.
I mean, travel includes reimbursement for mileage. And
Yeah.
whatnot, so.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the last thing is the $30,000 for communications is still in here. I still would like to reduce that and maybe we look at whatever to help you guys get the website back up and current. Maybe that's where we focus our energies this year while we have a new person to kind of figure out what their communications style is going to be, because it's not going to completely take away all of that job responsibility from you guys. You're going to have to download to somebody else too. So it's just my 2 cents on that one.
Well, one of the things is that we don't sometimes respond as quickly, that we have somebody that we can turn to that can respond quickly.
We're going to take typing an email to
The fireworks thing is an example. That if you have a boil water that needs to get out quickly and we're trying to get the other things done lined up to fix whatever the problem is, this position can do that sort of thing.
Can I make a comment about this?
Sure.
Okay, I don't want to go out of turn of anything. I think my sense from our last discussion is, I'm not sure we're all talking about the same thing,
I agree.
right? So I think there's a couple of different pieces. There's the tactical stuff like that, emergent things. And then there's the strategic stuff. I mean, let's take the school, for example. I think at the pavilion, as a resident, I thought that was one of those things, just having an observer's perspective as a resident, that it seemed like the communication could have been more helpful. And so I think it's not just the tactical stuff, it's the strategic stuff. What are we doing over the long term? What are the consistent issues? We've got the school, we've got Queen Street, we've got mosquitoes, we've got, and those types of things, even if, yes, a person would need bullets, here's the situation, but as I understand it, this person would have the skill, both in communication and strategy, to be able to take those bullets and repurpose them for different settings. Like maybe it's a text message, maybe it's a manager's minute if that exists in the future, maybe it's a briefing, maybe it's a presentation, maybe it's so I see it as just not just the day-to-day stuff, but much more than that. And I think the email we got this morning about mosquitoes is kind of a good example of a pain point for the community that would be helpful for us to be able to, one of the problems is, we say something in these meetings and then we don't get in front of people again for a month. And a lot can happen in that month, which I think is one of the things that makes it hard to keep up. And I just think, communication is just such a big issue, and doing it well is really time consuming. And even with the right skill set, and I think it takes skills that go beyond what we currently have in town, is that liberates the staff to do other things. And so just kind of from my experience, my perspective, and what I've seen people here, even if the incoming person is an excellent communicator, I would say if the incoming town manager is an excellent communicator, that person will value that resource even more and be able to use that person to even greater effect. So obviously that person isn't here yet. We're not going to know. Quite frankly, I would also hope that we would maybe take another look at the budget, maybe 90 days in after the person is here. But I just think I think 30, to get a good communication, tactical strategist person in here for $30,000, I think is a bargain. And it would be well worth it and would really help address what what I see as some of our big pain points.
Well, speaking to that topic, I guess I'm kind of 180 degrees different. I'm skeptical that this person could perform the amazing job that you're talking about. And I keep looking at the reserves and saying, geez, that certainly went up. And so I think this is something we can limp along for another year. And in my opinion, we should just strike that whole 30,000 and reduce our expenditures to that extent.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
How many people are subscribed to the Constant Contact stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a chance to even dig into any of that really since Matt's been gone.
I think it's really only a fraction of.
But it's not just Constant Contact. There's email, there's Facebook posts reminding people your tax bills are due. There's Facebook posts reminding them of events. There's there's just so much. And I think I appreciate your perspective on the overall expenditure, but I also don't think you feel what we feel in here when something hasn't been communicated effectively.
I disagree with that statement as particular to me, but as the council as a whole, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we're the ones that take the brunt when something's not communicated effectively. I mean, the pavilion was a big thing. That was huge. Just a perfect example is the fireworks demonstration that I got cussed out for. The water sewer, you can't imagine what Hannah's taken up there for water sewer bills. I didn't get my tax bill. You know, there's just so much that we can't even defend ourselves because you're right. You know, it's in the
only
mail.
gonna Mitigate all of that though.
Well, I didn't anticipate it to necessarily mitigate all of it, but I think it could possibly, I think it would give us a chance to say that we, in due diligence, tried to do the right things for our residents by communicating to them. I mean, I can't, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but we have a way to say, these are the things we're doing to communicate to you. You know, now
And
the
I
burden's
guess-
on you to absorb that information how you
What-
see it.
One other thing I wanted to point out is, I mean, in my view, this falls squarely in town administration under the town manager. And I think to the point that Debbie just made, those are the folks that have the inside understanding of what the day-to-day is like. And I mean, in my mind, if you all have given it thoughtful consideration, which it seems like you have, and you say, look, we need this to do our jobs to our best ability and to serve the town to the best of our ability. I personally am reluctant to say, well, no, that's not what you need.
Well, let me say, it's not just that. We've heard a lot from you all about not being able to communicate well and not doing it as well as you would like it done. And hopefully this will do that. You know, there is a point where a citizen has to take some responsibility in a democracy, you know, to do things. But there are things that we really need to get out there. And if it's an emergency or something like that, your staff is going to be involved in trying to deal with that. And the communication person can get out there and let everybody know what's going on. And that would be that they could even appear at a radio, you know, do the radio thing. You just, and quite frankly, it's right now, we've given you a recommendation. It's in your ballpark to decide where it is you want. But you have to understand, you only have 3 people that are really in the office. Everybody else is in the field doing something. And if, you know, and you know all the different things they're doing in the office. So, you know, you can have a whole lot of jobs and try and do them, but you all have to decide what are the ones that are most important that you want to get out there.
So a question, with somebody who is not an employee and not in the office, what would the arrangements be to be sure that in the case of an emergency and a need for immediate something to go out, that would be able to happen, that there would be enough,
Yeah.
that the person would be able to receive a handoff and then go run with it and push out
Yes, that
whatever
would be
needs
part of the
pushing.
agreement, is they would be available
Okay,
on a moment's notice to do that.
okay.
And probably,
Let's go around first. huh?
there would have to be some education on their part to understand what's going on in terms of the town and what's happening with the town. You know, they would have to know what the calendar is, what exposures they are. You know, what it is that they may have to address quickly, and what it is that we're looking for to tell the citizens, to get the information to them. For example, if we were talking about mosquitoes and we were doing some planning on doing multiple things, which quite frankly would be recommended, that person would have to catch up and know exactly what's going on and how to communicate to how to do these things, where you need to put the mosquito dunks, the little tablets that kill the larva. You know, that you put them in your bird bath and you put them in a koi pond, those kinds of things. So that person would have to be on a moment's notice, be able to move quickly, and be able to learn about what's going on. And we'd be keeping them up.
I did have a question about, did this go out for an RFP? Did we get other people to, because there's our procurement policy kick in for that?
We would do that.
Yeah, we would definitely,
We would do
would have to do that, yes, but that was an estimate.
I understand that personally because I have worked here and I'm not saying it's been in the most, but it was 4 years ago. The website is the absolutely hardest thing for staff to get to, as I well know. So I totally understand and wanting the help on that. I still think you're putting another person in the equation to get important information out. You're gonna still have to type to them or call them and then that's just how I feel about it.
Well,
Um,
I agree with you about emergency situations. Emergency situations more than likely would still be handled by me. Eric tells me how a main break, I would do the Text MyGov main break. Website main break. I'm talking about just the overall communication of everything else that goes on in the town. I understand an emergency is the staff here and we're dealing with that. I'm just talking about all the other, well, I agree with you. I didn't think about like, where you put these. But I can tell you that our former town manager, when he did manager minutes, he would spend all day doing a manager minute, all day. Because my guess is that probably wasn't his first skill set. And
But we didn't have them before him, so that was something he brought upon himself.
well, I don't know that,
Not that
I
that's a
don't know
bad
that
thing,
that
is what I'm
necessarily
saying,
was
but-
brought on by himself, but
All
I
right,
had
let's have a couple other people weigh in here.
Okay.
Sarah, go ahead. You through?
No, I'm just, hold on, I just want to say that I have heard council members ask for him to put out a manager minute. Now, whether that was because he established that and it was like, can you do it? Or was that asked and I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Sarah?
I'm just trying to get a big picture. I see the credit card fees, $22,000 line item was removed. And the telephone and Wi-Fi was reduced. And then some other things were increased, including the Main Street. Are those the big substantive changes on expenses in this category? Thanks. I'm just trying to be sure I'm not overlooking something from before looking at them side by side.
Oh, Ashley, I guess the big issue is this $30,000 for the communication.
Yeah, picking up, this sort of piggybacks. This topic sort of piggybacks off, or is a continuation actually from the first meeting, when we spent some time with this line item as well. I think my question would be, how are other towns or municipalities our size handling that function?
greatly depending on the size of the town. For example, town like Ashland, they have a communications person on staff. And some of the towns do that. Others kind of do the same way we do. It really is kind of what are the priorities of the council. Smithfield has Smithfield is bigger than we are. It's kind of the hand capital of the world. But so they have more revenue.
Yes, sir.
And so it really depends on what your priorities are as a town council.
Back to Cindy, one of your objections was that we weren't putting enough money in reserves and that we would save some money. Looking at this reserve, I mean, I'm jumping in, but I'm looking at $1 million of stuff that we don't need to do right away. I mean, there's the reserve thing. There's still $75,000 for Christmas decorations, $75,000 for a water generator we don't need.
Push to the next fiscal
Are you
year.
on the right one?
I'm talking about the whole, I'm talking about,
Capital
PIP.
improvement program.
That's the one you want.
oh, I'm not looking, okay. But there's 270, there's, $935,000 worth of street lights for over 3 years. And I mean, I think there's some stuff we could definitely work on. Oh, I'm
It's the
sorry.
bottom line on the latest version.
Yeah, but there's still these numbers up here, and that's still numbers of future. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, but if you're trying to build, I'm talking about future years, yeah. But I'm saying if you want to build up, just don't put those in the capital budget, I mean, I definitely don't think we need $75,000 for Christmas lights, in 2 years.
On the capital.
I'm just saying that you were concerned about not adding to the capital, and we could add, if we cut that, we could still be funding our reserves by just not spending as much on capital improvements. So, okay, so
Can I make one more comment and then I'll be quiet?
yeah.
Please don't.
The missing piece in our discussion is the new person and the new town manager, that person's preferences, how that person wants to handle this type of issue. And I guess I'm just reluctant. Maybe if we reduce it to leave that line item open for that person to have some flexibility in that area. But just to
Yeah.
commit 30,000 seems excessive to me.
Let me say, your town manager is gonna need almost a year, at the very least 6 months, to find out what a men's room is. I mean, it sounds crazy.
Find out what, sorry?
Where the men's room is. There are a lot of little things that happen that the town manager has to understand. And he's not, or she's not going to be able to do that and do a lot of the communication stuff at the same time that you want. For example, the war. If there's nobody down there, it winds up coming up here. Now, right now, Debbie did it. But it was Matt that did it sometime. I now know how to fuel a yacht and do the pump out. But those are the kinds of things that the manager is going to be learning about. And so it's going to take them a while to get up to a speed to be able to really address a lot of your questions.
So, go
Can I
ahead.
hear you, Bill? I don't know how to say it without saying too much, but I believe that the person expressed some interest in having monthly meetings with the citizens and that sort of thing that could ameliorate the problems we've had in the past. So it's like, we can't necessarily fully explain to you at this moment why we have this opinion.
Okay.
So a question,
Yes.
would it be possible A, and appropriate B, to fund it at whatever level we fund it, but to do the contract as a 6-month with a possible second 6 month and a possible dropping of the second 6 months
Absolutely.
so that we can give it a try, have whatever amount we set in the budget committed for 6 months, but have an easy way to step back
Yes.
if that turns out to be superfluous or problematic or just not functional.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're not gonna do this immediately, right? This budget takes place in July.
July.
And
Mhm.
we'll know by then what the new person's preferences hopefully in this area will be.
I don't know that you would.
I think that an opportunity for a test drive for part of a year might
We could suggest. it,
might be a
certainly.
helpful thing.
This is where I become the skunk at the garden party. One of,
That's a new saying. I like it.
one of the things that as a county administrator that I did was I had monthly citizen meetings. The first time, maybe 15 people showed up. The second time, maybe 7 or 8. That is not as effective now as using, I don't know, I guess you'd call, because I'm also a dinosaur, social media, using the electronic things. So I'll congratulate the town manager and think that's wonderful that they would do this. But I think you'll find that it is not as effective.
Well, what about citizen responsibility? If they,
Oh, absolutely. I've said that. I've said that there comes a point where in a democracy, the citizen has some responsibility. And we have to figure where that is.
So I'll make my last one too. Thank you, Sydney. So, and I think these discussions are great, and I appreciate that we can disagree and talk through it. So as the newest person to get to sit at the big table, and a relatively new resident to Onyancock, as a resident, putting my resident hat on now, that whole thing with the school and the repairs and the pavilion was a debacle. And without knowing anything other than what I got to see in the papers and coming to these meetings, it was quite frankly appalling to me, to a degree that I actually considered saying, you guys got to go to mediation. It's like a spat that's playing out in public. And I'm not, not attributing to anybody, and I'm not saying you guys behave badly or anything, but there was so much misunderstanding. It evolved into rancor and month after month and meeting after meeting. And I honestly think that did a great deal of reputational harm to this body. Rightly or wrongly, we can only start from where we are. But in my mind, I think it's critical that we invest effort in rebuilding our relationship with the town. Not everybody, but enough. I think, I think there's perceptions, founded or not, that we don't share information. We don't keep people informed. We don't let people know what's going on. And what's really unfortunate about it is a lot of times we're doing stuff, like that email we got this morning had some misinformation in it. And I knew the person, and I reached out and I said, hey, this is not quite right. This isn't where we are. And they said, oh, so I'm not gonna send that letter to the Post now that I have that information. So I think it's even bigger than tactics, bigger than strategy. I think it's critical to not only our effectiveness, but our relationship and reputation. And I think all of that intertwines. So with that, I yield my time.
so do we want to go around and say what our preference is and see what we can come up with? Budget?
If we put the budget in, and the new town manager says, this is not gonna, we don't need this. where are we there? Or, you know, he says he can do part of it, yeah.
Then you may be able to switch it to someplace where you really do need it.
If you don't use the money, it just goes into the reserve at the end of the year, basically.
Yeah, can you go to reserves? Or if you find that there's, God forbid, he loses 2 policemen, you know where it's going to go.
Well,
And you're going to be reviewing the budget every 6 months. I think you said that's what you,
well, we don't normally do that.
yeah, but you talked about doing some review. You know, you could get a report at that point.
All right, well, let's go, Ashley, yay, or, you know, well, I guess we're looking at the 30 grand. If you have a different number, come up with a yay or nay on that.
I would say nay on 30,000. I would say nay, at this point to the 30,000, although I do like Councilwoman, Knox's recommendation. For the 6 month, for the 6 month term, almost like a tryout. I think that would be beneficial.
Oh, sorry, didn't hear it. I said 6 months would be good.
Yeah.
That would just give us some time to realize if it is
It's,
moving in the direction that we would like. to
it's
see.
effective.
Okay, all right. So that'll be half the 15, basically. Okay. so
Well, that's a little different than what 15 is a little different than what I was thinking still 30,000, but to write the contract so that it would be severable at the end of 6 months.
Okay,
So I think,
let's see where we are.
I think it's worth a try. And if that's what the price needs to be to get somebody who's gonna have a chance of being effective, then I'm a yay for it. But I think we need to keep an eye on it for whether it accomplishes the goal and be able to say, okay, this is going to stop now, if that's what we need to say.
Cindy?
Just to clarify, Bill, this money can be moved to different line items if it isn't spent here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I don't think it will be effective in the way that you want it to be, because I don't think it's possible for someone, you're gonna have to do an RFP. Lord knows who will bid on it. You know, you don't know, to my mind, the talent pool out there. You have one estimate, but we've got to get more than one. Again, the town manager might have a different idea, but I will agree to what everybody else is saying, as long as the money's movable.
I want it split in half. I think the website is the biggest to do. I would love to see that maintained. That's still gonna take the town staff time too, to update every time they get a business license in or a closure, they're gonna have to let this person know. But that is the hardest part, in my opinion. I'm not sold on the rest of it. But I understand why staff is asking for it. So if that's the way we go, that's the way we go, but that's not my preference.
I think a 6 month tryout at the 30 is a good idea. And in my mind, we may know a little bit about what this person might do of the universe of things to get done. But where I think this person may really add value is doing things that we aren't doing. And we don't know yet what those might look like. And so 6 and 30 gives us a chance to get some things taken care of in the near term. New TM will be able to weigh in and recommend keeping it. I think that's a great solution.
And let me say, one of the things that we will need to do is to come up with some points to be able to evaluate at the end of the 6 months. And we will do that.
All right, so we agree with 30 and at the 30, but with the 6 month trial. So
Yes.
We could bend up, basically only spending 15. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
anything else on administration? Or we,
No.
police department, Bill, you got any, what do we change? You got any, I think got a few changes there. What?
We talked about training.
Yeah, there-
if we lose an officer, we would need probably
To 20.
20.
We got 4 in there now.
Yeah, so the 4 it would be
It's different training.
So would that-
yeah, that
Would have to be
Yeah.
24. We'd have to do 24. Right?
4, yeah.
Okay.
And if we don't, go ahead.
Is it 20 or 24?
It would be 24 because we got to keep the 4 in there.
Well, 4 is in a different line item.
Yeah, I think your 4 is like shooting.
Oh, new
right?
training. I'm sorry. I didn't- yeah.
Shooting, but your 4 for regular training is going to the gun range and,
Let's go to the academy.
Like,
oh, it's,
Yeah,
we have to pay them $4,000. Okay, got it.
yeah.
I will tell you that last year, the new officer training came in right at 18,000, 17,859
That's
or
good to know.
something.
That was
So
just one officer.
that was one officer.
That-
And, so with inflation, I don't know if you want to put it at 18 again.
There's a new one.
I'm fine with the 20 that I think.
Yeah, I
suggests-
believe the 20 would be good. And then if it goes over a little bit, we do have other areas we can always look at, but 20 should be good.
So are you saying 20 total ongoing and new officer?
No, it'd be 4,000 still for basic training, then 20 on top of that for the new officer.
Okay, thank you.
The only other thing I have in here is court costs. I know I mean, it's not big numbers, but I just, our average has been $43 a year and we're booking 1,000.
Yeah, but we've also, no way around it, been lucky. Because all it takes is the rate officer to write their own ticket. Because what the court cost actually covers is, if we rate a ticket for reckless driving, simple. And on our tickets, it's automatically marked Town of Anacog, and that makes the fine money come to us. But it also makes the attorney money cost come to us
So I
too.
need that, yeah.
And in Virginia now, the attorneys get paid no matter what, even if the person doesn't pay. So if we mark a ticket wrong, I think the average cost is $350 now per charge. So that's why we kept it at that number.
Okay,
Sounds good.
sounds good.
So we're going to add 20 for training. Any other questions about police?
It's for new officer training.
New officer training?
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Another question, we may get to this later when we're talking about compensation. I noticed that there's a little bit of a drop in wages from the previous iteration. Is that going to leave us in okay standing with our people?
Well, I think Bill's narrative talked about that.
Yeah, it went to down to 4%.
It went down to 4% and then, but they're still
down.
keeping the 2 officers at the additional.
They stayed at the higher rate.
Yeah.
So we're good with our staff.
Yes.
Okay. Fire department, I don't think we had any changes in that. Anybody have any? We're all right on that. Okay, Department of Public Works.
I have some,
Well, what did we change? What was the big changes in that from the last
trash,
track?
trash revenue and trash expenses went up $10,000 each.
Yeah, can you,
But down in the bottom, the trash collection went from 106.5 to 125.
That was more than 10, okay, yeah.
So it was an $18,000 increase.
what page are you on?
From-
8?
Yeah, 8 for this. And then-
Down at the bottom. Where
So
you,
in the middle, sorry, at the middle of the page, in
Yeah.
the expense section.
yeah, trash collection, yeah.
So last week that said 106.5 and this week it says 125. So,
Okay, last week it was 115 on the first pass.
oh, that,
Actual-
right, I had the older copy, sorry.
For the actual trash collection, but that expense line is cart service as well as the roll off and
Dumpster.
dump fees that we have in town.
How many, we have one at the water tower, right?
We currently have one at the water tower that is used for mostly brush and trash and brush also.
But the revenue, the revenue is obviously what we charge residents for
So
trash.
I had a couple of questions on that. I would prefer to not increase the cost for this service if possible. I know Bill mentioned it'd be $1.50 increase per month, but we're not billed per month. unless you're on monthly billing, which is only a handful of people.
Well, it would be $3 on the bill.
Oh, $3 on your bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to reduce that, if not do away with that if possible.
That's exactly what we're,
I know, but I know
Yeah.
tax money has also supplemented trash and has always supplemented trash to some degree. We've gotten it closer to breaking even, but I really hate throwing more money on that if possible, if we can make it happen. If not, then it is what it is,
It-
but
here, what's interesting to me is that for water, you have a minimum bill. You go out of town for a month, you pay the minimum bill.
we need to look at that policy, I think.
The trash, there isn't any. So that
Well,
when you go to,
Bill, even if they're out of.
no,
town,
wait a
you can-
minute, I'm saying, when you go out of town, you can have it cut off. Yeah, you get it cut off, then you don't pay.
Right,
There's not
for
a
anything,
minimum on that.
And not even water.
But you pay for that house every time because they go by to pick up trash. So the rest of the taxpayers or ratepayers or the bill payers are paying for your fact that you've gone out of town for a month. Then that doesn't happen for water.
Like, go ahead, I'm sorry. I'll let you
But I think, for me, trash collection is an enterprise fund. It's a business. And we contract with somebody to do that. And that contract is lower than it would be, say, in the county where it's not basically a monopoly. You pick up from every house. And that the charge that you get is no more and no less than what he charges you.
Okay. We did briefly touch on this, I think, last time as well. We talked about looking at the policy change for that. And it doesn't make sense for a person to close their water account down for 1 month. They'd have to do it for at least 2 in the right time frame. Otherwise, they get a minimum bill no matter what, which does include trash.
Yeah.
I think that's a policy thing that we need to look at. I truly do, because this is, and Debbie and I have talked about this before too. It's not fair that they can shut it down and not pay their portion, but we're still paying based on the fact that they are part of the group that gets picked up. I understand that.
I think the other thing you need to factor into that too is when I dug into this, I can't remember, Bill and I looked at it and all the numbers are running together, but in 1 month we billed, I don't know, 380 or 370, but only 335 had a trash. And that's because they're in the apartments.
Ah, yes.
So it's not even like that is being spread along every meter.
But they have a
It's
dumpster right over there for them. That's. the
Yes,
case.
yes, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is when you go to figure out the trash revenue, you can't base it on 800 meters. You have, because
Right.
not all 800 meters have trash.
That's true. Yes, correct.
So when you figure that out, now you're putting that burden on even fewer people.
I understand this is how it has to stand. My preference would be to try to reduce it so it's not such a big, $3 is a big jump.
All right, let's go around and see what everybody else, but specifically about the trash fee going up $3. Ann?
I think Bill's rationale makes sense, and I don't disagree that we should look at the policy, so I would say, yes, we should increase it, and yes, we should look at the policy.
Okay,
Well, we're looking at if we increase it, and that means every customer that has a meter is billed 6 times, 12 months, roughly, because if they are all billed, hold on, I had the thought in my head before I started speaking.
well, we're just talking about the $3 trash increase right now. Let's not get into policy adjustments. That's,
Well, what I'm saying is that it really does need to be a hybrid of both of those. So if we bill every customer all 6 times that they are billed each year, and the number of people that actually are trash, it would need to go up $3, $1.50 a month.
well, that's what the
That
budget.
does not take away the policy part of it, of everybody gets a minimum bill, whether they're here or not, whether your house is not rented or not,
Well, that's
whether you're in the
you're
middle.
talking
of
about water right now. You're talking about water and sewer.
Correct,
Also-
because a lot of
yeah.
people will snowbird and turn off
Yeah,
their.
well, aren't we doing a water, going to do a water, study?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be part of the rate study? Would be part of that? Yeah.
Is trash part of that scope or no?
No,
Okay.
no, the trash, the trash cost is on your water bill, but they're entirely separate.
I do know that residents have we've jumped trash quite a bit in the last 6, 7 years. I don't know. If we can make it a little bit better, I would be happier, but if we can't, we can't. It's just my 2 cents.
I mean, yeah, the number you have is straight from your provider.
I understand.
All right, Cindy?
I think that the town, should basically assess the amount of the contract and spread it across the residents as best we can. Sure, look at the policy and see if there's some inequities in it, but I don't see trash collection as something that the town should subsidize.
Sarah?
Ditto.
What?
Ditto.
Okay, so Ashley? Okay, so we're gonna go up, and we'll keep it there. All right. And we can look at the policy. I mean, I think the policy can be looked at the same time as the water and sewer. They are somewhat related, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like taxes are subsidizing part of it because you're only expecting revenue of 115,000 and we're paying 125, which is for the dumpster. But so, I mean, it used to be 100% subsidized a long time ago.
You know,
And I'm not saying that it should be again, but I'm just trying to keep costs down.
okay, anything else on, anything else on Department of Public Works?
I had one question, and I think we discussed this last time, and I guess maybe the details are fuzzy to me. On the janitorial supplies, and I don't know what our actual is this year, that would be really handy to have, but a 300% increase.
No, janitorial supplies are expensive.
Well, they must have jumped this year.
Hold on.
Is that it?
I can tell you in a second.
Well, we have the thing's been put into service, the bathrooms have been put into service,
It's that bathroom.
not like the ones we have now.
I don't know what the average is, but we've only spent 400 as of the end of February, which I had an estimate of $600 in for the year, which Debbie might have, but we also have extra bathroom, at least one extra bathroom we're cleaning as well, because we only had the 2 before.
It's true.
I don't consider.
I will say one thing,
Yeah.
since we do have the new restrooms, they are cleaned at least once a day. And they're really cleaning them opposed, I hate to say it, to the ones we had out here. So I could see, I don't know if that jump is
I'm sure.
accurate, but I can see a big jump in it, yes,
Yeah.
personally.
Thank you. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, but-
And I'm glad to hear that they're being cleaned every day.
They're
Yes.
nice.
So am I.
I mean, I can take it down to 2.
If you think that's reasonable, Debbie.
All right, okay. Any other questions about parks? I mean,
I guess I would just say if it's to the degree that it's possible, let's try to keep track in this coming year of how that goes so that we've got less guesswork next time.
you got something?
Somewhere in this section is Sunset Park. Where was that?
Capital.
It was a couple pages back.
Capital
What's it?
expenditures. No, it's right here.
Cindy's right.
Oh, sorry.
And that should have, capital expenditures in the first pass was to finish Sunset Park. That was the last ARPA project that hasn't been completed, and that there was talked about to take that out, and I didn't. But it's there now.
Was that a decision or
I
did,
feel
what-
like
what
maybe
does
it
everybody wanna
did
do?
go around through.
Well, I don't know. We weren't sure about
I
that.
add one more thing? We have an unfunded request for 9750 for the Northeast Park.
Right.
Yeah, what is that remaining? Is it that the sign and?
I couldn't tell.
There's
but
some
it's
plantings
I've
and
skimmed
some
it.
extra material.
Okay.
And I
Now
think that some of the plantings go down to,
Time out on the plantings.
I'm sorry.
Time out on the plantings. The plantings wouldn't be necessary because they're part of the broader height, where these.
Oh,
are
okay.
Included in broader heights. Scope.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
That was the sign, but I'd like to fund it this year if we can.
the note that I had from last time about Sunset Park was to move it to the capital improvement plan for
Yes.
bench and bollard.
Yeah, I
But you
thought,
still gotta expend the funds, so you gotta have the expenditure.
Yeah,
Down
okay,
the
we do it
wharf.
this year.
Yeah,
We move it
that
to next year.
Well, yeah, but it's still gonna show up in the budget as an expenditure. Cause you're taking in the revenue coming from the transfer in. So this is
As we
just,
do it in FY 28.
oh, that's true. If we move it to
Yeah.
fiscal year 28. then
Yeah,
that's
that's-
Well, all right, well, or we agreed that we're gonna put Sunset Park in the capital expenditure. We'll talk about that at the end of the.
Fiscal year.
No, not, we haven't, we'll,
You don't want to get there yet.
we haven't got there. We're just gonna take it out of this thing line.
So if we fund it.
We'll
from
put it
fiscal
back
year
in. We'll
20,
put it back in. Yeah, but it is it's,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so we're good on Parks and Rec and all that, yeah, okay. Parks and landscaping, we're okay on that? Yeah, okay.
I have one question. I know when we talked about the electric service last time, Debbie mentioned doing an electric audit to make sure everything was being coded.
Yeah.
Is this projection the result of that? Because it didn't change.
No, it's not a result of that.
Okay, because I think it's too low.
We also have some meters that aren't being used in the town. We need to look at that. There's one up in the, there's one we're paying a minimum for 28. There's one up there on the corner of like that lot we own up by the dog park or somewhere. Isn't there a meter up there? It's not even being on. I'll talk to you about it later. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we're on a wharf. Okay.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do, I just wanted you
Yeah,
to
let's
get
just
a
leave it
chance
in.
to look at it, because it looked like in 24, we actually spent 30,000, but in 23 and 25, we spent 28 and 42, so it seems like something was misbooked somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, that's a misprint. It's gotta be. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think probably at least
Yeah.
3,000.
We own the
I know, it's
sewage treatment
terrible.
plant 20.
Yeah. All right, Marina, I think the only thing we had at the marina is
So
about
high.
the, there was some question about the gas sales, but the reason we did that is because just the price of gas.
So your survey is fine with that?
Well, we talked about, I don't know, that's a total guessing game about where that's gonna go.
Yeah, well, that I know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same we're projecting the same and we're just making $1 a gallon, so, we just have to guess where that is.
Well, I just was, because our 3-year was.
That's, that's the
just-
point.
Just under 100,000,
But-
and we're on par to potentially.
But we haven't seen $4 gas or $5 to $5.50 gas either, so I don't know we don't know where it's gonna go. I'd be conservative.
People coming out to do voting. 'cause-
Well, that's what we're counting on. I mean, I think we're better off being conservative. So we're back to the wharf position. Is everybody clear that is not a full-time, but it's not
Okay,
a,
no, we were not clear on that.
yeah, so that we're now, it's just, can you explain that again real quick? It's not my job to, yeah.
I do think I misspoke. Well, I did misspeak when I said full-time, which full-time would be 2,080 hours a year. So it was year round, and because she does work in the winter months.
How many hours a week, Debbie?
I would say that varies, depends on reservations, depends on if people call down and want gas, emergency service. One of the things that was discussed was that this person would actually like go to trade shows, like boat shows, and just do other things to try to get us out there in the wintertime. All that goes on in the wintertime. There's great loopers, conference, there's so much of that stuff that we don't do.
I think if we average out to, more than 35 hours a week, then it's a full-time position, whether you want to call it that or not.
Yes,
So, I mean, the average hours are going to be super important as to whether we are required to pay benefits.
and then if we are doing trade, so we gotta book all those expenses too, for travel and professional development, we could call it,
Basically, we're not asking for a full-time position, we're just asking for more money for our part-time person.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're taking it from seasonal, which you can work as many hours as you want.
Yeah.
If you're seasonal, not be full-time, but
Yes,
once it's
yeah.
year round, and you gotta watch the hours.
Yeah, I do get it.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
that, sorry, they're seasonal.
Sorry, seasonal.
Yes.
More hours for season.
it's just- yeah, she's doing more hours.
Nice.
Season, year round.
Yeah, but we came
Well, the budget stands as presented, that you're not paying them benefits and stuff like that with this plan. You're gonna look into that and make sure we're not gonna pay them benefits. We're not gonna go over wherever that's administrative decision. You guys will stay within that. We're not agreeing to pay them benefits and stuff. Okay, is that clear?
I'd like to see how many hours they've worked over the winter versus what we've done, like, I'd like to see the hours, so we know that that 10,000 is enough or maybe too much for the additional hours in the winter.
Weeds again. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else on the on down at the dock?
Nope, that was it.
Water and sewer,
Wait a minute, sorry, on
good
the,
chance. Sorry.
I was writing down what they said so it wouldn't get away.
You snooze, you lose here.
I,
Gotcha.
then let me say for Monday night, can we get some more clarity on what that increase would and would not include in the wages for the marina?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we're not interested in paying them
No.
benefits.
Yeah, and that was clear to us.
Yes, okay, right, okay.
But I think you're asking those extra hours, what will they be doing?
Yes.
I mean, that's two different questions.
And how much of an increase in workload would that,
Yes.
would that incur?
Okay.
Or would that make available to the town to have
Yeah.
done?
I have one question and the answer will determine whether or not I have something really substantive to talk about in the water department. Are we moving to monthly billing in fiscal year? So we're still gonna be on the bi-monthly billing with the postcards. Okay, then my comments are moved. Thank you.
Water and sewer,
Sewer, the only thing I had was I don't see where we're booking the HRSD expenditure that we pay out every month. I have no idea.
That's the 185.
That's the 180.
yeah, 185, yeah.
And that's all just to them, or there's nothing that we're doing in repair in the lines or anything? What
No.
about the sewer line
No.
we did for over there? For Tap House, is that,
Tap House did that themselves. We did not do that.
we didn't, okay.
We've
No,
had-
our guys were out there.
We had time and material.
Yeah, we're tie-in. We have
Yeah.
to tie in, nobody's allowed to. So yes, we did have a day or two, day and a half, and I believe, or 2 days. So yes.
For the tie-in, but running the line from
The shop.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is excellent.
So on the water,
Mhm.
has there been a decision about switching the billing or is that still under discussion?
We have a meeting coming up with, HRSD next week, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's still, I
Yeah.
think you guys have clearly made a
Yeah,
recommendation.
we're
Yeah,
feel pretty strongly to keep it in-house.
yeah.
Well,
But we'll know,
all development from their side of it has stopped because of, they had to
Yeah.
have a decision about whether to keep what we were gonna do. Going into this meeting
Sweet.
next week. So HRSD has agreed to allow us to shift them their revenue. We would bill.
And we can do that monthly.
Whatever time frame we come up with.
So as opposed to that you would have had to be shipping it to them every day
Yeah.
if we had,
If we were taking money in and they were
For-
doing the billing.
okay.
I'm fine with staff recommendation on that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty clear to me.
Yeah, I think that was their staff recommendation. I think and we'll know, yeah. And,
By the way, it's also the recommendation of the lawyer.
yeah,
Oh, good.
all right,
Are we still on water?
we are.
I just had a comment. It seems like, and I'm on office supplies and water. It seems like sometimes we put costs in each department that they belong to, and sometimes we don't. And if we could have one approach, either consolidated under administration or break it out to every department, but not a
It's
mixture.
fine with having it all in administration.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that too, if you'll take that line item out of the
But-
departments.
But water is different because we pay for
Exactly.
that at a different way.
No, that's
And water.
That's
not
proprietary.
not general fund, that's
That's
our
not
business
general fund. We need to
activity.
keep that separate.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to,
Separate.
yeah, that's one of the things that I want to be sure that we understand. We look at, I do, and staff looks at water as an enterprise fund. That it pays for itself. Yes.
It is, well, it's how.
Yes.
There's looking.
And so we have to break that office supply out because we don't want to intermingle.
Okay, well, it's
Well,
blank
with the
now.
bills,
Then-
you guys get bills from Southern Software, that would come out of their office
Yeah.
supplies.
And I could I could allocate a percentage of paper.
Right.
I think that would probably, yeah, because you're also doing your delinquent letters on there. and
Yeah, you can,
postage
yeah,
for
you can
the-
lower
the-
our general fund if you transfer that stuff to water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's truly being done by water. All right. Any other questions about water?
Check the list.
All right, okay, I guess we're on to the CIP.
No, we haven't.
Well, we looked at sewer. Did you want, do you have
There.
some comments?
Well, what, I said water and sewer. I'm sorry.
Okay, yes, I'm done. Thank you.
All right, CIP, Bill, I guess you got, so this is new 2027 numbers, I guess, or?
Yes, these 27 numbers. One of the things, as I told you at the beginning, we're a little hesitant about the sewer revenue. Because if they do take out the Accomack, that's a $312,000 hole. A part of it, the delta on that is a hole. I'm not sure what that is, but I have to sit down and go through it. to see.
Booking anything except for the HRSD payments.
That's right.
Which is for the flow we are billing on.
Yes,
Um,
So
So-
I'm, obviously the revenue would go down, but that expenditure would go down.
yeah.
yes.
What,
Yeah.
Then 100.
so on the 27, they get line item F-250 dump package.
You're on the wrong.
I'm on the wrong sheet again?
Yes.
Jesus.
You want this one?
Oh, they never gave me that one.
Did you print?
I thought that had been gotten. You've
Hmm.
already bought that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Huh?
Yeah, no, but I mean, is that the
No,
wrong?
I've never got the right one.
Oh, it's got to be in the papers.
Yeah, I got it.
Person.
You printed two.
Yeah, print it off, yeah.
Well, maybe you printed.
Maybe, but.
Are we not supposed to have?
It is.
That's the
Okay.
real
Current one, flip it over. 27 to 31. That's
Yeah,
it.
no,
ahead.
no,
That's
Debbie,
not what was.
There's what we have.
Yeah, this is what we have.
Yeah.
Oh, you crossed that out.
27 to 31.
We have the F-250 dump package.
Just printed.
I know.
Yeah, it's on all.
it's on all of them.
That's correct.
That's correct.
So
What are we?
I understood that we already, elaborate, please.
Yeah, we purchased this last year.
Okay.
I'm on the same page. Everybody's looking, act like I'm crazy. There is a 68,000 dump package on it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Previous town manager on it.
Well, that's all.
Well.
Actually,
$68,000 reserves. It goes in.
Yeah, it's
reserves.
supposed to stay.
Water van.
Yeah.
When it goes in.
So
It's
it's at the
legal.
end of the, by the time we get to 2030, we're not going to be that much in the hole if we get rid of some of the.
So that, okay, so, okay.
I did not know we had it.
Well, that's why I
Water van,
said,
right?
did you get this?
So
And
we-
Eric's like, yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, that was just
Chief just purchased the water department truck, correct?
van, yes.
And the equipment, the excavator.
Yes.
That was part of 26,
Everything was 26, correct.
and the F-250 dump
Using bill.
package, I guess, I
Oh,
thought
okay.
was a different vehicle, but he's evidently telling me that that's the one Matt purchased.
Yes, we already had purchased a dump truck.
right, yeah, I can say we have a brand new
And-
dump tank.
The police vehicle should, in my opinion, come off also because we've already got that in the budget.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Are we buying the vehicle for 75,000?
Okay, hold on a minute. Let's go down this. Please stay with the plan here, all right? 2027. We just eliminated the 250. We crossed that off.
Correct.
Next item is the 75,800 for the police chief responder. Okay, let's talk about that. All right.
That's his responder. We don't,
Apparently, there's two in the budget. We only need one. We can either, if this is correct, I guess we can pay for it outright, which would save the interest rate, or we can make payments. It's your call. It doesn't matter to me.
That would lower the equipment payment expenditure.
Well,
if we
that's-
Pay for it outright.
I think we need to,
You got that loan payment at up to 20 because we were gonna do a loan for this, but if we're gonna buy it outright, we don't need it in both.
can we have a recommendation from staff about what to do on that? That's not,
Me personally, which I'm not in accounting, but it saves your interest rate. I
Yeah.
would pay for it outright.
What's the
Yeah.
interest rate on it?
The last time I checked, if we were lucky, it was in 6%.
Okay.
so your recommendation is to pay for it
pay
outright?
for it outright.
All right, so,
So we need to reduce the loan payment from the police department.
Yeah.
And what line is the loan payment on? I'm on page 6.
It's on
at the
vehicles. I
bottom.
believe it's under new vehicle or.
Yeah, new vehicle or.
well, that just balanced out the 20 grand we
It's
put in
the
for,
police.
how much is that?
20,000
Well,
in
that-
this budget.
So that's almost $7,000 reduction, because the last 2 years have been just over 13,000.
So the 20,000 just balanced out the 20,000 we just put in for training, didn't it?
Yeah.
But no, because we still have loan payments out there. We're still paying the 13, whatever it is.
We wouldn't have the additional, oh, okay.
Right, so
It was 20, it was, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
okay. We'll save some money there.
I'm trying to.
All right, so we're gonna keep the police chief first responder truck in there. Is everybody agreed on that?
Yes.
And then the HOS is already been, that's already in there.
So
The-
the reason HOS is 640,000 is because more than likely we'll pay, we've already made one check, $80,000 check to the roofer, and we
Yeah.
more than likely have another $80,000.
So that'll be this year's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
640 is
For the AC?
a,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, okay. And the 20,000, that was something for the water study. Are we all agreed on that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we're all okay on 2027. Go to 2028. We got this 274,500 for the lighting, which Matt came up with those numbers. I don't know what, I have no idea. We really haven't seen any kind of plan there.
See the Queen Street lot done than anything else.
Well, that is on there, but
But I think.
that's not gonna make it.
It's gonna be enough.
Nope, probably not.
No.
Have we ever done a project that came in under budget?
I feel like that 399 was really, that's carried over now for 2 years.
Yes.
That was
So,
a 2 year ago quote. I'm thinking 800,000 for the parking lot personally.
And those streetlights, do we have, so we don't know the particulars, like was it to replace a certain
It
amount?
was to put our decorative streetlights in the B1 district, basically downtown.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
and we priced out the individual lights and the cost and everything. And the other option is there grant money we could seek for that kind of thing? I don't know.
That'd be a great thing for OMS to look into.
Well, there,
Let's push that into 2029. That first 274,500 figure,
well,
and that will give some time to consider other options.
So that's already a push of 1 year, so you're pushing it 2 years?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
supposed to be done this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bill recommended. it.
well, we still need to, interpretive signs, I don't even, what that was about,
Oh, yeah, we
That
never,
was-
never did that.
I would know it's signs in the park, that was something that the Hill Studios recommended, and we kind of, I don't think anybody was,
Some of the signs we really wanted, the VDOT doesn't allow, right? Like restrooms this way and stuff like
I
that.
think that, I guess I get confused on the difference in interpretive signs and wayfinding. Sarah could probably weigh in on that.
well, we never did wayfinding.
I
That
know.
just kind of went by the wayside.
I just think, yeah.
Yeah, what went by the wayfinding? I don't know.
Yes, there was quite a bit going, I think there might have been initial plan to VDOT, they axed it and then.
Oh, no, that was-
And there's
There
been
was rounds of
some back
stuff.
and forth and we have made some progress, but there's still some
Well, do we
hiccups.
But that's the wayfinding.
That's the
signs.
wayfinding.
Interpretive ones were the ones that would explain more about a spot.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
or the
Like
wharf,
a tour-
Yes.
you know,
a
like you see
museum
in
Like,
sign.
parks or something.
there's
where it gives a lot of.
Similar, I think,
Like
to,
down at the wharf.
yeah, that would be
at the-
maybe in front of the Welcome Center and at the wharf, but there's an example of one at the beginning of the nature trail at the
Yeah.
school.
You're right.
That kind of concept.
Yeah.
Well,
is
there's
what
one
that
down, there's
refers to.
one down at the wharf about, next in front of the
Yeah.
gas pump too, that somebody put in. Yeah, so I don't know, do we need, there is no line for wayfinding. Where is that gone to?
I'd rather do wayfinding.
It's up
before
there.
interpretive.
There is a line.
There's a,
Where?
but there's no number.
Oh, well, yeah, we did. Oh, right.
Included anyway.
We're not doing wayfinding anymore. We've been working on it.
Well,
Well, I had no idea what was happening to,
Well,
I don't have any idea of
Yeah.
the pricing, but we are
well,
trying.
it wasn't
to-
hugely expensive. I mean, there's just little signs on the, I don't know. Well, we need to make, so what about, let's decide about 20,000 for interpretive. Anybody excited about that? Or we can,
I feel like that could be kicked down the road.
or not just taken off?
Well, I think this is one of those little things that it's easy to just dispose of.
Yeah.
But if we think about our larger picture of bringing people into the town, helping people learn about the town, I mean, if it's not hugely expensive, we could get a lot out of it because I think it, helps people learn, might make them want to come back and
Yeah, I
I'm
did.
thinking if we need
What are we talking?
a location, like so-and-so
Like a
discovered this spot and erected this building and I was thinking that if we need more money for Queen Street, maybe moving the interpretive signs out a year or two might make sense too.
And how many signs we need? 20,000, I'm not sure what they're figuring.
I mean, they just get,
I
yeah,
don't, I have no idea.
I mean, the sign, they were, 2,500
It-
per sign,
it-
3,000 should be enough. Get 3 or 4 signs, I mean, we don't want, 50 signs, but I don't know,
A
we do-
couple well-placed signs would be
we do
good.
need to get wayfinding back in there because we kind of agreed we were going to do that.
And this is also something that if we, put a little bit of thought into it and say we want to do 9 signs, maybe we do 3 every year, we can space it out incrementally, so it's
Well,
not a big fight.
The street signs?
no,
No, that's
Well-
still there, okay.
No, the capital line for 26, the street signs were
So-
all purchased. Yes, they haven't all
Okay.
been installed,
Oh.
but they've all been purchased.
Okay, so we can
There's
strike
7 more
that
to
from our
install?
plan.
that's not on here anymore.
It's not on here.
There's no
Great.
value.
There's no value, no number.
It's
But
a
we have the line.
We-
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't eliminate zeros,
It's the
columns.
same template,
Yeah, they didn't.
Because
because
it was an item, it's been done, but we haven't put it up.
All right, well, let's go back, let's go back to the interpretive sign. So we have a recommendation to split that up a little bit. And then, I don't know,
well, you thought 20,000 would cover 3 signs?
no, I said 2,500 would cover a sign, maybe, I'm guessing. And then you could do, the 20,000 seems like, I don't know, if you're gonna do them out of brass or something.
Well, you've got to design it too.
Maybe
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah,
they have to be,
Yeah,
you
I-
know,
I mean,
I have to handle the elements.
Yeah.
Kinda like
Yeah, you're right,
embossed
yeah.
and whatnot. I just-
Embossed and
I've
glossed.
worked on some other projects involving interpretive signs. I could look into what we pay and tell you an example.
We
well,
also need to identify what we're gonna highlight.
can you come up with that number before budget time?
Remember if that was in.
I
the whole
could be
studio.
able to do it the next day or 2.
It might be.
Yeah, well, yeah, so we can,
I feel like it was part of. the
we can hold off on that for,
Was.
okay.
Yes,
So the do we agree we want to put wayfinding back in here?
yes,
Necessary.
Where? That's this, yeah,
2029.
signs telling you where directional signs, we don't have any. When?
Yeah, cause I think we need to get that lot done and I think we're gonna spend a lot of money on that in 28.
yeah, I think if you're gonna do Queen Street parking lot, it's gonna be a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
And 399 not gonna cut
Yep.
it.
When this was initially worked, do we have an idea of how many wayfinding signs, what they're needed
Yeah,
for?
yeah, Sarah has
Yeah.
yeah. We never got a budget, did we?
I don't remember the number, but
Yeah.
we're getting close to.
So we know what we would get if we had the money.
Yeah, and I don't have any history of what.
I'm trying to remember, I think it's roughly 10 signs, most of them facing you as you're coming in from 13, but several facing you as you're walking up from the wharf,
Mhm.
so that somebody who arrives by boat can have information about how to find things.
Well, I think that's all part and parcel of making it visitors easier to navigate.
Yeah, we agreed, yeah,
Yeah.
we were gonna do this. This is, we need to put it in here somewhere, so,
There's just some aspects of what VDOT says we have to do does not make sense for this town.
I
And-
remember hearing about that a little bit.
That has been a challenge.
does anybody remember what the number for Waysign? Thank you.
One thing that you could do to help cut the pricing down is I found out with the cameras, if it's not in the VDOT right away, you don't have to meet their standards. So if you can find locations that's not in there right away, you don't have to meet their standard.
Well, I think this is a project for the new town manager to,
Yeah.
because it was a quagmire dealing with those people. I mean, yeah.
So the approved 26 budget with the 5-year capital budget plan actually did not have anything for wayfinding signs. They had 20,000 for interpretive signs, 25,000 for benches, trash cans, alleyways, the 399, 250 for Queen Street.
Oh, we haven't gone to
Street
that.
Signs was 15,250, which those are bought.
Well,
Oh, he had a dump package in 2027. That's where that came from.
let's just put 10,000 in for wayfinding just to
Yeah.
praise
Just
placeholder.
Something in there.
That's what.
29?
2028.
No, it's we're gonna do, we need to work on Queen Street first.
Okay, all right,
Everybody get that?
Other things can be pushed out.
all right,
Okay, I am looking.
2029.
I mean, does anyone disagree? To me, Queen Street's the priority.
Well,
I,
if you don't
Need
know
to
where,
get that done.
yeah, like.
In
Well, if you
Queen
don't know where to
Street, it's
park,
in
you know,
28.
you don't have a sign telling you where to park.
You know-
I'm just kidding.
Utilizing that lot way more than I've ever.
Oh, I know, yeah, it's, yeah, all right, so we're doing, and so
You
Uh,
want to do that in 28 or do you want to move it to 27?
what are we doing?
The Queen Street. I'm trying to find out what the priority for Queen Street.
Well, I thought
Well, I think
Next
because of
year.
HOS, we probably need to push out Queen
Okay.
Street to fiscal year, but
To 28?
yeah, I mean, it's been in our budget for 2 years and we haven't even come close to.
Well, we can move the 25,000 for benches, trash cans.
Yeah.
Can we put that into the Queen Street number? I don't know.
Can I make a suggestion? Can we split a little bit of money into 27 to potentially get the bid specifications worked on? Because I think there's still some more work on the site plan.
For what? I'm sorry.
Queen Street,
Queen Street? Yeah.
could we split it just a little bit?
Good idea.
You can, probably you'll use your engineers that you've hired. You know, the firm to do this.
Exactly, and we can talk to them about our existing plans that we've gotten
Yes.
from other engineers and, you know, try to come up with what we really are gonna do.
You're talking about having Turlington and Gouverneur looked at what Robinson Davis and
Yeah.
Robinson Farmer Davis.
Robert.
No, it was Psalm.
Psalm.
Psalm did
Oh,
it.
you're right, Psalm, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
it's David and Friedel, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
Yeah, they did all of it.
there might not be much they need to
They
do.
did
I
all
don't
the
know.
schools. The Welcome Center.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sorry, go ahead. Just a quick check on 2027. The only item is the first responder truck.
And then HOS.
Well, right. I mean, above HOS, all those lines.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, HOS, we've got it there. But my hope is that by July 1, it's all done.
I mean, we don't even have the quote for the HVAC yet.
Well, but that we got May and June. And it's and you'll have on your Monday's council agenda, the task order number 2, which is for the HVAC
Okay.
from Governor. And I don't know, quite frankly, how long it'd take to bid, but I think he's done some legwork and hopefully this will all be done.
I like how you think.
I do want to come back real quick and just let you know that in 2027, that dump package was approved. In last year's CIP plan, 2026 through 2030, in 27, there was an F-250 dump package for $68,000. That's why I kept it in 27. So that was there. And I think that is something different than the one that we bought a couple of years ago. Dump package makes me think that it's like a dump truck of some sort. I don't know what dump package.
We have a dump truck.
I
Yeah.
understand, I'm just saying that was why that was still there.
I do know some talk about getting a bigger one.
Yeah.
Well, let's not, we've kind of moved
Yeah.
on by that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that, yeah. All right.
Could I make a suggestion? Bill, you had spoken to our need for a garage.
I've spoken of a need for a facility for your public works, for waterworks, to house your equipment and to have an office area that's big enough for the employees to come in and get out of the cold, maybe eat lunch, do that sort of thing, or the heat.
Could our money coming in for sewer, could that cover that in the coming year?
Well, I don't know that you want, I would love to see it done in the coming year,
Okay,
but I think that ought to be part of the water study.
okay.
Oh, so you don't think we should put something in
Not
the plan
at
now?
this point, no.
Okay.
I,
Okay,
because I think it's, what I'm looking at is that it's not only a rate study, but it gives you a real capital improvements and capital maintenance budget for the next 5 years. Because I expect it to look at the age of the lines, the shape of the lines, to see which need to be replaced before we're out there every week fixing the brake.
So on the potential future home in the chipper, would that?
Ripper the chipper?
I like Chippy McChipperface myself, but would that be something we would lease if we found an appropriate facility? Or do you see that something we would build?
We would build.
Okay,
It would be down on the site where we have the equipment parked now, because there's enough room there to be able to do that.
okay. And would there be any value in exploring an option for a short-term lease to take care of Chippy in the meantime?
Yeah, well, we kind of stick things in the back here in the meantime.
Okay.
But I think you did look at one time for places and there wasn't any place to store.
No, it's no reasonable place to live around us now.
Yeah,
For fiscal year 28, I was gonna ask Fletcher, I know we've got 75,000 booked for new decorations, and I'm sure that's gonna need to be done at some point, but how can we push that?
I think we can
Yeah.
just do that out of the regular, $10,000 a year, just add on each year. Yeah, I don't think we need to do that.
you don't need the 75.
No, no.
Wasn't there some discussion that the big Christmas tree was gonna need to be, like there was already sections or am I just making that up?
I mean, they put new balls on it this year. I mean, it looks pretty good. I think we're okay with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
That was one.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think they need to, we could increase the budget, per year a little bit if we wanted to pay for that tree, but I don't, I'd try to keep Christmas things out of the capital budget if we could. I don't think,
And the only other, real quick, let me just go down the things I'm thinking of. Are we gonna keep the 25 for the trash cans, alley lighting and benches? What is the 100,000 for the striping and paving outside of Queen Street?
just routine street maintenance.
Just routine?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
We
for
got a
the-
lot.
We do get a lot of complaints about King Street needing restriped. You can't even see anything in King Street.
Okay,
And then, all of the,
well, the,
The
VDOT owns
3-hour
part of
parking
King Street,
spot.
right?
VDOT no longer does any markings.
Yeah.
Actually, they will not do Market Street now. We have to pay for that.
Yeah.
We have to
We don't
redo it.
own the street.
Oh, there.
They abandoned some
Yes.
of their responsibility.
That's marking is one of those items.
Well,
So they're just gonna pave it and like.
I mean, we're
good
gonna
luck.
have to pave some streets at some point. We own streets still, and we gotta.
Yes, but that's not one we own.
I know, well, let's not get into the
Yeah,
nitty.
we don't have to do that
I
now.
understand. Yeah, well, I mean, the crosswalk on, King Street and Market is barely see anymore. We need to repaint that.
And
Of course, they make us pay for it, but they won't let us paint something. I mean,
along those lines, I remember, I don't know if it was Thelma or somebody brought up some sidewalks needing repair. Do we have kind of an idea about sidewalk maintenance and refreshing over time?
Matt, when he came in, he did some like
It was,
putting out some of this tough pieces but that was what, 6 to 5,
was
6
VDOT.
years?
That
Yeah,
was VDOT.
they did it on
He
Market,
did some too, didn't he?
some on Market Street.
that was a
where they
VDOT contract, I think.
Knocked it down.
What about in the neighbors? I mean, I think this would have been over in Northeast.
yeah, it was $25,000 per foot is what Matt told me.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to that. That's what.
Yeah, well, I mean, there
Crazy.
was a plan in the neighborhood, in that
Yeah.
plan up there, but it was abandoned. It was too expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, a linear
Oh.
foot was
I
25.
mean, we tried to do some, I mean, they're just incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
sidewalks are.
I mean, in general, I would say that we should have some awareness, at least with respect to safety issues.
Yes.
If anything's unsafe, we should fix it.
Well,
We should add that with the parking and the striping.
Well, paving, we could put that in.
Sidewalk repair.
Yeah, paving, and that seems like to me
There's
that's
been
law.
considerable discussion about crosswalks,
Yeah.
and we have nothing in this planning for crosswalks. Should we add that into paving, striping?
That's part of striping, I would think.
Yeah.
I think they wouldn't let us do the
What-
crosswalks.
Yeah, we've been denied.
Wasn't it millions
I-
of dollars for like a couple of
That was
crosswalks?
ridiculous. Yeah.
The cost was crazy.
Dollars to connect, like, was it down
Oh,
there?
it's
at the
King Street
That
over,
was
right?
Yeah.
That was the sidewalk.
That was the
Yeah.
That
sidewalk.
wasn't.
But it was a lot of money for crosswalks.
Oh,
painting
Yes,
too.
crosswalks is very expensive.
Yeah, so it was gonna be the sidewalk to connect around from the King Street sidewalk to the Market Street sidewalk. And that was just nuts, crazy expensive. And so then we went back to VDOT and said, what if we just did crosswalks? And I don't recall,
Was that part of
The
the
response-
Northeast section grant? Was
no, that was,
No,
it was,
oh, it was the,
Visual Studio.
no, but Matt applied for something and that's what the money was for.
yes, so there,
Matt applied for, I believe it was called a TAP grant.
Yes.
Don't ask me what TAP is. but-
transportation alternatives. Thank you. Your name reminds me.
Thank you. That grant was just for the engineering.
Yes.
I
Yes.
believe that was
Okay.
not the cost of, and I don't even think we got the engineering grant. Or
I don't remember, but
Something
something came
like-
back that was way over designed and way overpriced.
right.
And we said, no, but what if we just do this instead? And I don't remember an answer to that of just having several crosswalks.
Okay. So can we just, for my purposes here, can we just go down 2027? We're gonna keep in the police first responder truck, HOS, the 640, the comprehensive study plan,
Yep.
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
2028, we have interpretive sign.
Wait a minute, back up. You're gonna move some money into Queen Street.
for
You want
27.
engineering money.
Okay.
in
We
the-
can like 50.
50, 60.
Oh, if
Yeah.
we're gonna use Arlington and Gubernator.
Is the number for the responder truck for 27 staying the same?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know, 10%, I don't know,
huh?
40,000, yeah.
100,000. Yeah.
I might not take that
Debbie,
much.
we've already paid a lot for
Yeah.
engineering. I don't think it's gonna be that much, because what we're really looking is some fine tuning and bid specifications.
Yeah, just-
Well, yeah, what I was thinking is that would allow you to get the engineering done.
But we
A-
didn't.
And then the actual, and the bidding out, so that in 28, you do the actual construction.
Right,
Yes. Yes.
So that the not, you would get it, 27 would be all the way down to bidding. So it'd be complete design, all of that, including getting whatever necessary easements that you would need for runoff.
Yeah, it's, if Governor agrees with what Psalm has done substantially,
Yeah,
then most of the engineering work or the
Okay.
planning work is done.
okay.
yeah,
What,
so you gotta come up with a number you wanna move up there, I don't know.
You wanna do 50?
50?
Yeah, let's just move 50 from
Okay.
399.
The
Okay.
last percentage,
Oh, cool.
10% of the engineering plus bid documents.
Say the first part again, I missed it.
$50,000 would cover the last bit of the engineering and bid
Bid
documents. Is
Yes,
that your thinking?
that's my thinking, assuming Governor likes what the Psalm
Yeah.
engineers did. And I'm not sure that they really took the Chesapeake Bay Preservation Act into full consideration. So there may be,
There may be some more work that has
yes,
to be done.
there may, just, I don't know.
Okay.
And,
Let's highlight that to them.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we will,
and
All right, so that's.
we will do that.
I'm sorry, Bill, do we know that, excuse me, do we know that 20 is good for the water study?
That came from Turlington and Governor.
Okay.
We spoke with them, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so do we go down 27 again, or do we feel comfortable?
We're moving the 274 to the next year, right?
Well, let me just get 27 first. So we got.
Oh,
50.
we're comfortable with 27, yeah.
Okay.
Debbie wants to be sure she's got.
Yeah, we got one.
Oh, okay,
We
yeah.
got the numbers.
50,000 for engineering bid documents at Queen Street, 75,800 for the police chief first responder, 40 for HOS, 20 for the comp plan.
Good, okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Comp water plan, rather.
Let's say we go ahead and pay everything out for HOS this year. Does that 640 become available for something else, or do we just leave it in reserves and move forward?
It's gonna be gone this year.
Okay.
So
Should we be budgeting it for capital?
Yeah.
Even though, okay, that's what.
100%
Well,
for cap.
I don't think we can just, I don't think that we have another 640 to spend
Yeah.
because
No, I understand that.
Bill pointed out in the last budget meeting that we already had $1 million in capital improvements, and then after that, we appropriated another 800,000 for the school. So that's really just kind of booking it
Yeah.
in something, because it was never officially booked, so to speak.
That's fine. I was just, I'd like to get a better number for Queen Street for 28.
Well,
That's,
we
that's,
should get
that's what
that,
that, we would know
that
that.
should come out with the 50.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
So you will probably gonna see that go up substantially in your next capital budget.
But yeah, that's, to me, that's one of our biggest priorities.
Okay, so we're gonna go to 28 now, and are we gonna stay with the 20,000 for interpretive signs?
We have-
No, we're gonna
we-
move them to 29.
And
We skipped the downtown lights.
we're getting rid of that. We're moving it to 29.
Yeah.
We moving.
Now, hold on, we haven't gotten to 29. We're just moving that there yet. Let's wait.
28 less.
We're moving it to 29.
Yes, but it's in our 28 list. That's why we're asking.
We're moving it to 28 to 29.
so
Okay.
28.
Yeah.
Interpretive signs is
Yes.
moving.
Yes,
Okay, all to 29?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Benches, cans, alley lighting, 25.
Well, we didn't, nobody, we haven't really talked about that and where that's gonna go, or we could put that on, I mean, some of it was gonna go around, I don't know. I wasn't, we don't have a plan there.
We can,
Can I take a quick pause too? Because I also, we've glossed over, but now that we're in CIP, that 9,750 for the Northeast Park, should we be putting that in for 27? Sorry, Debbie, I forgot all about that question.
Yes.
Have we seen what that's
Yes.
for?
Well, they did a presentation and everything, you know, remember?
Yeah.
It was about the sign. I can't remember, it was,
Oh, so it's the one they done before. Okay, got
Yeah.
it, got it.
Yeah, that probably should be in 27.
I got
Okay,
it. North
sorry.
Park, 10.
Yeah.
But Debbie, did you say that part of that 9750 would go away because it's included in Broader Height or no?
Well, I just thought that it was important that we had that property maintained and landscaped just like the rest of our properties.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to
Right,
depend
but she's asking if
on,
we reduce, would we reduce?
I get slightly,
Okay.
I don't know exactly what Jeff had for plantings.
Right, so I guess what, just from a process standpoint, we've talked about making sure that we're taking care of all of our properties.
Yeah.
So is this where that would go? Or we're not actually gonna give OBCA money. We're going to agree to cover these things. And then wouldn't that be part of the public work or Parks and Rec?
yes.
Yeah,
It would.
yeah.
So we need to put the 97 in Parks and Rec then,
Parks and landscaping.
Parks and Landscaping.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Well, does anybody know exactly what the 97 was? Do we've already forgotten?
But any equipment upgrades out there, any benches, any of that sort of
No,
stuff.
we've already paid for that.
We're getting that.
We've already ordered that.
Okay, well, let me just see what his phase 3 was.
What,
It was phase 2, wasn't it?
No, his phase 3, original phase 3 was over $100,000,
Right.
but that was a big,
one of the things that's in there are some plantings. And some of those plantings appear to be, and I've got to get this straight, on private property.
Yeah, I had an
My
issue with that.
recommendation to you is that you do not do that.
No,
oh, never.
No.
No,
Well,
absolutely.
can we have it, yeah, I mean, not trying to, but just because somebody here comes, once 97, we need to look at the whole project and maybe we can trim some of it. That's what I'm saying. We don't give everybody walks in the door at once, And I do remember there were some corner plantings that we didn't even own the property there. But I thought maybe they might have taken that out. I don't know, what was,
All right, so this is step 3, Northeast Neighborhood Funding Request, requesting additional funding of $9,750 to support broader neighborhood improvements. Add wayfinding signage on Market Street for museum and park. Purchase and install new park sign at entrance to park.
right,
Add plantings in the rear of Glorious Church property. Remove prune dead trees. Remove abandoned vehicles, remove or repair vacant buildings in the neighborhood.
yeah.
Ensure regular lawn maintenance on the corner of Boundary and School code enforcement.
that's not, yeah, okay.
So,
That sounds like a lot of stuff that
On
would be on
private
private property.
Yes,
yeah, so the
And wayfinding will
wayfinding
take-
signage
yeah.
should really be part of
the
Wayfinding.
wayfinding.
wayfinding and whatever.
But I mean, I think the sign for the park was a, good idea.
And
Yeah.
there, there is one of the signs in the wayfinding is for the blacksmith shop.
Right, I agree.
Well, I think they also, don't they want to rename the park? too,
Yes, yes,
potentially?
yeah.
And then get a new sign for that. So
Yeah.
that
I
could be,
think the sign part of this could be done.
Yes.
Yeah,
Without
we-
interfering with anything down the road.
Right.
That might be part of like.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I think needs to be an interpretive, needs to be part of.
Well,
the
I mean, they
whole
could
package.
also do some more planning within the park if they wanted to on the other side of that fence from
Yeah.
the church, instead of putting it on the,
On the
Yeah.
church property.
yeah, I don't
It's
know.
already done.
Already, well, some, I looked down
Yeah,
there.
some's there.
Yeah. Well, so what are we gonna do? Give them $3,000 for something, for the sign and that? I don't know.
but it's gotta be different than the wayfinding. 'cause
Yes,
then
the
it's-
sign, the
Yeah,
sign for the
the-
park.
Signs at the park.
Whatever they
Yeah.
name it
Yeah.
to,
Yep.
whatever the consensus is.
Yeah, so however it plays out, whatever subset we want to fund, then that should be budgeted with the relevant line item.
Right.
It's not going to be a separate bucket for,
No, we'd do the sign specifically.
So we need a number here we're gonna take it out of capital improvements, correct?
Well, it's not in the capital improvement.
I know, but we're talking about putting it in 2027. So
Yeah, but
what
we
number
can
do
do
you,
that with, hopefully with the tax revenue.
we'll just do it as a regular, not out of capital?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't see why we need to do it as a capital.
Okay, all
necessarily.
right.
So that's how staff wants to do it. It doesn't.
No, okay, I'm,
Okay, so we have no Northeast Park in 2027. You just want me to add a couple of $1,000s to
For
a
sign,
regular.
just for,
For the signs.
And Parks and Landscaping.
yeah.
as long as
And-
that, either way is fine with me, whether you put it in capital or not, but.
So, and just to be sure I'm hearing right, we're not saying we're not going to do anything in the Northeast Park. We're saying we're not going to assign anything in the capital improvement budget to doing things in the Northeast Park,
Right.
although things will happen there.
All right.
Correct.
And we have to,
Doing the contract with Browder Heights, so
Yeah.
the maintenance of the park should be.
I say, I just want to be sure I was hearing right.
Yeah,
we
Thanks.
have to clarify that we cannot do anything on private
Private
property.
property.
Yeah, right, and this, I completely understand.
Well,
the-
we're still-
the Abandoned vehicles and whatnot, but that's, you really.
We have a
just
code
can't.
on that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Enforcement.
we'd have to go, we'll go through the.
Well, we're still looking at doing something with the vacant property. We're
Yeah.
trying to work with the project up there. I'm still with Eric. We're working on that to see if we can get another grant or something, do something, but we don't have the bandwidth. We don't have the money to do much right with buying
Buy the
derelict
property
building.
and
Yeah.
and have we accounted for anywhere, like I assume at some point the basketball court's going to need some maintenance, new lines, repaving.
We
I don't know when, I'm assuming it wouldn't be needed right away.
we haven't even put the lines on it yet. There's no lines on it yet. They're waiting on the line. Yeah.
yeah, it would.
They're coming, but
They
they haven't
should-
come on.
Apparently
It
that's
lasts
the
more
tough
than
thing to
5
do.
years.
I'm sorry, what?
It's to do that striping right, it'll last more than 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, so right now, under repairs and maintenance, under public parks and landscaping, we have $6,000. Which would.
And you,
Do you want to
Mhm.
add, should we add a
Striping.
separate line
You get home,
specifically?
yeah, and weather.
I don't
Yeah.
think so, because, I mean, parks are parks. We
I
should
know.
be taking care of all of our parks.
Yeah,
They-
they should be all under the same bucket, yeah.
So now I'm at 28.
Well,
Sorry about that detour, guys.
we moved the 274 to 29.
So no interpretive signs, we've moved to 29.
Yeah.
Right, this is where we got jammed up with benches, trash cans, alley.
I don't know what the plan was for that. So there were downtown benches and benches and
It was
alley lighting.
for
I
the
don't,
whole town, wasn't it?
yeah, we put
Yeah.
bench at the welcome center in the trash can.
Yeah, is there any way to level out that ground? Because that bench is.
We
level.
tried.
You gotta shift the
Let's do
benches.
the-
Yeah.
Okay.
If it makes you feel bad, we tried, and the problem is you can't touch the ground. I literally couldn't touch the ground once we leveled it up on a Saturday. I felt the child.
Then I. did-
Yeah, exactly. Fault.
Okay, so
And a 5-year-old is even less tall.
Yeah.
Yes.
just trash cans, nothing, we're just gonna ask that forever?
Well, I feel like we need to look into it and remember what because I think there was a plan and conversation.
well, there was some plan to
Maybe
put some
years ago.
lighting down on there and some, to improve that whole alleyway.
That Main Street wants to also work on that
Yeah.
alleyway lighting.
Alleyway.
Between-
Corners Bakery and the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we don't even own all of.
And what about Town
Wait a minute.
Square? Was
And
it-
also in the Hill Studio on Alleyway, it was the walkway next to the post office. you know, that walkway.
Oh, that could use some
Main
love.
Street, there was lighting there.
I
Yeah.
will say the Main Streets Dig grant this year is downtown lighting, so I think some of that will already be taken care of
Oh,
if we
good.
get the grant, so. Just as an aside, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Andrea.
Oh, I was just wondering if any of that was intended for Town Square.
No, we've already
That was
paid,
Separate.
Do the light,
we've already got the lights for
The
town
light
square.
for
already
town-
paid.
What about,
Make-
didn't the plan include some benches?
Well, it included a gazebo, which is, I mean, a pergola-like structure was phase 2, but
Right,
we haven't
We haven't
decided on
gotten to
that.
yet.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
But we have water.
yeah.
I think we can move that to FY
Everybody-
29 and do all of that planning in the interim.
Okay,
Well, it's still a
all
year
right, so
away.
that takes us to what number do you want to put on Queen Street in 2028?
Well, you could take the 75 from Christmas and put it in there, but that's, you know,
About 475 or 500 or,
I think.
I know you think that's not gonna be enough, but we don't know what enough is, so.
yeah,
What do you think, though?
why don't we put
Is
500?
it the square footage of that?
No, that'd be cool.
So
What
what?
that parking lot, is?
What
What
the
the
square
square
footage
footage
is.
of that parking lot is?
well, Matt had figured
I
out
don't
a square, 399 was based on a square footage for paving and then some extra stuff for curbing and things. He actually got a bid, you know, I mean, a pretty accurate number, but that's probably changed.
Yeah,
We decided no on the Christmas decorations,
Yes.
100,000 for paving and striping.
Just leave it there. Yeah.
Like if we-
Leave that
And the-
there.
And the drainage stuff.
That's kind of a catch-all for anything that has to be done with a sidewalk or a road.
Right now, we're at 2029. So the water generator was approved for 2026.
That's going away, isn't it, Eric?
Well, Eric, I believe, spoke with somebody about
Yeah.
the generator
Mhm.
and. it
Follow
was-
up. The current one we have is, I lost my paperwork. 560 hours, 68 hours, I believe, and the life expectancy is 25 to 30,000 hours. So we're pretty
We-
far away from.
we haven't
reaching that
broken it
mark.
in yet.
So we can move that to 31 and reevaluate it every year, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's already been pushed 3 years.
I pushed it 3 years.
Well, it's at the current rate, we'll, you know, we'll only be dead before it gets to 30,000, so why put it here anyway?
But
Put it
does it dry rot after a given amount of time? I mean, is there a,
Not a diesel engine.
Well, we get it inspected every 6 months, and of course, the inspection gives you okay or not okay. It's all mixed, and there's no metal in the oil. They said it looks fine. All the hoses, because they replaced the hoses and all that as needed, but they said they don't see nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
You can leave that money there and as it gets a value,
Mhm.
way that you can move it out each year until.
Yeah.
You,
Till
So it gets to that point.
Till it
Yeah.
becomes $150,000 replacement.
Yeah.
yeah.
Chief, is there
Yeah,
any,
we'll adjust it.
Next year.
We'll adjust the amount each year based on inflation.
is there any advanced technology in that might eventually need to be upgraded?
No, it's just a it's a simple generator with a program that when it senses a power loss, it just kicks on.
Ah.
That's all it is.
Excellent.
Okay, so we're gonna leave that in 29.
Or-
All right, we got 274.5.
Are we concerned about our bottom line here if we're going below our reserve?
I know, and our reserves look terrible. Can we just push it out as far as possible?
Or not even, I mean, if we're under reserved and we don't need that, why was it be even on there? You know, I mean, it just makes our, you know,
Well, the only reason why I hesitate to want to remove it.
What was already set up for that, and then that number generated itself?
My concern with
Yeah.
removing it completely is it'll fall completely off of our
Oh,
radar.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the reason. You can move it. All the time, but you need to keep the big things
Yeah.
in your minds on your paper.
well, I mean, there's a lot of things that went on here. I mean, wells and water towers and, you know, pump stations. I don't know.
Okay,
So streetlights, 274.5 and 29. Streetlights uptown, 237.9.
But we're gonna kick all those down a year, move them all down back. So you move the uptown back a year as well.
to 2030,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the downtown lights. Why is there another expenditure for 2030? That's where it won't be done.
Well, originally there was 274 for 26
Yeah.
and 274 for 27,
Okay,
none of which got spent.
okay, so just Move it out
So
a
on
year.
29, what are we're moving, we got 274.5 for streets downtown,
Yeah,
lights uptown, 237.9.
I thought that was going to.
Yeah, that's
2030.
going to 2030.
Okay,
Okay, 20,000 for interpretive sign.
Well, we got 10,000 for wayfinding too that we added.
yeah,
Where is the 10 finding, where's that?
Well,
The
we
wayfinding.
just verbally added it earlier
Which year?
for 2029.
good.
There's something we need to add.
All right, interpretive signs 20. Into streetlights alley, 25,000, and then we got paving and striping another 100.
Just kicking things down the road. We haven't improved anything.
There's one item we probably need to add is water tower painting.
That's
Isn't
in
it
there.
part of our
That's
contract?
in there. That's in there. We have that contract with Southern Corrosion every year.
Yeah,
Dicks.
I think they're supposed to come every few years.
What's-
There's a schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been and they pressure washed it and paint came on. Started coming off.
Sorry, say again.
But I thought that was part of the maintenance was also
just-
painting. after
Nah,
5 or
I gotta
6
look.
years.
I don't know. I think we're expired. Sorry.
Well, I believe we did that contract last year for the first time.
Yeah,
I don't think
They-
they covered
they-
it. Penny.
They had a schedule of whatever they did and painting was part of it at some
I
point.
didn't think so.
that's what I remember seeing. We can pull it, let us know too.
Yeah, because the big chunks are coming off like foot.
Okay,
I was just listening for that before.
okay, I got it. All right,
But I would say let's follow up and be sure where
Yeah.
that stands.
That's what,
and then another 100,000 for paving and striping.
Yeah, it'll probably cost more by then.
All right, 2030, I have 274.5 for streetlights downtown.
No, that got moved to 2031.
Okay,
that's the uptown.
Uptown, yeah,
and
that's.
then uptown 237.9.
Yes,
Okay, and then 100,000 for paving and striping.
yes.
All right, so that leaves 2031 with 271.5 for downtown lights and 100,000 for paving and striping.
Yes.
Oh, I don't need a police car in fact.
I was gonna say,
Well,
we
we
have
are
no
gonna need to
police
do-
cars in here, we have no new equipment. We don't, what did we decide on the shed for DPW?
That-
We're gonna wait till the rates.
Wait till the study and see what they say, what the study looks like, so that, I mean, what the facility looks like, so we can get a decent number.
Okay.
Is capital
Um,
improvement really cars and vehicles?
We can raise water rates.
I had a question.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, 'cause I was always told no.
Hey, Bill,
Like an ink pen, it's not.
looking at the capital expenditure budget, these are the numbers we know we have now. Is there any look at potential increases in what we will be putting in, hopefully year after year?
Yes,
So it does look at potential increases?
yes.
Okay.
I have a question for Cindy. Which I understand if you can't answer. So we're doing this without the benefit of the revised comp plan? Do you anticipate or would there be any kind of expenditures associated with the recommendations that they might be doing? You probably can't say now, but it just occurred to me that there might be some recommendations coming out of that would entail some expenses.
You're right. I think it will, but we don't have those yet.
Right.
So
Right.
that would have to go into next year's budget.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's also the comprehensive plan, planning committee is a recommendation to town council.
Yes.
It is not fiat.
Mm.
So eventually the town council will decide.
Oh, correct. Correct. I was just trying to see if we had,
We'll get another shot at that next year.
you know, when we think about being on our radar, and just as an aside, I think it would be great if we had mid-year or even quarterly budget reviews, but that's another conversation.
I have one other comment, and it's not related to anything we're looking at, but in the past, we've also been adopting the Fund 24 budget, and are y'all still using it?
Fund 24, I don't have any active grants right now.
Okay, so there's nothing else in there that we would need to look at. Okay, that was my only question.
The only grant match that that we have agreed to was just the
Remote,
the Main
okay.
Street. Yeah, nothing. The Northeast is done, and of course, we all know ARPA money's gone, so, yeah. all gone.
Just be.
Right.
Like magic.
Well, not exactly.
Get a lot of tears being shed over that disappearance.
All right, I don't have anything else. I thank y'all for going back to the drawing board,
thank you.
absolutely, because we can't even discuss anything without having some foundational information, so.
Any public comment? No public comment? Okay,
That's okay.
okay, okay, come on up. Or if you yell real loud, we can hear you back there.
Or he can, yeah, I can.
Glenn Strand, 48 Pine Street. You were jumping around so much, I got confused. Now, I want to know is the 975 money still in the budget for the Northeast Park? Or was it moved out?
It's moved into, I think the only thing, the sign is staying in,
The signage is in.
not the plantings on private property or the other stuff that involved anything outside of town property. Yeah.
Just the sign.
Yeah, and with the wayfinding was actually being done, that's already being done by another fund. The wayfinding on Market Street to say where the stuff is, that's already being done. That was a duplicate ask, really. So that the sign for the park is still in there. But the rest of it was like getting rid of vacant cars and demolishing buildings up there that we don't have any control over. So that wasn't on our property. So, and we're working, well, we could work on that through the AD, and for the grant, another grant or something, yeah.
What about those benches?
They're coming, they're ordered.
Yeah, those are already.
They're on their way, right?
They're on their way. That was approved and everything. The benches and the picnic tables.
Okay,
The picnic tables and the benches have been ordered.
okay.
Any idea when we'll get those though?
I put it in a report, they're supposed to be shipped May 6th.
Okay, so they're on the way. I just want to know because. when
No,
I-
no, sir, they're not on their way.
Okay.
They've told us that they're gonna ship them on May 6th.
Okay, that's fine. Because when I go back and people ask me questions, I want to have the right information. Yeah. I mean,
Mayor, I want to be clear on it. The plantings that would go on private property, we should not do. Because we have no ability to maintain them and to take care of them and that sort of thing.
talk about plants, all that stuff.
Yeah.
On the farms.
That are on private property, yes.
Come down. But the ones are still there. You just moved it, right?
Well, not all of it, yeah, yeah.
Or you.
How much did we put in? Extra 3,000?
About 3,000.
Yeah.
You put 5 in? For the.
Well, I will after
Okay, yeah.
discussion today.
Okay. So there'll be the 5,000 for a new sign one, because there's a renaming that's going to occur, correct?
Well, I don't know about that, renaming, I don't
Okay.
know about that. That's something that come up and haven't been discussed that much, so.
Okay.
Know what kind of renaming and all that. So instead of, and make sure I understand it, instead of the 975, it's down to 5, right? Or
Yes.
3 or whatever.
Five.
Yeah.
Because some of the things in that initial request, we're not able to do. As has been said, the plantings on land that the town doesn't own.
Yeah.
And the wayfinding.
Yeah.
And the wayfinding is coming with we're doing a whole wayfinding for the town. So that's already part of something that we're in works for. Yeah.
Okay. All right, okay.
But there is the the landscaping will be maintained.
Right,
throughout,
oh,
So there's landscaping and plantings, that's part of the Bridar High contract.
Striping of the basketball.
That's on the problem.
Yes.
Correct,
Yeah.
that's our property. And then the $5,000 sign.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, anybody? So you're gonna, so moving forward, are you gonna have these numbers, I guess you're just gonna plug some numbers in and reprint this? Can we get it
Yeah.
on Monday? Look at it? Yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, we don't
Yeah,
have,
we're gonna do our best. We get your council package coming.
right, that's right,
Yeah.
okay. All right, well, but when you could give this to us, I know you need time to get this together, so
Yeah.
you could send out the package and then add this later, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, motion to adjourn,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.